Good morning, guys, and welcome back to my channel. It is now 7:50 in the morning and I am getting ready for the day. My goal now with Timmy being back at work is to get ready every single day before he starts work for the day, so that way when I have the two kids here home by myself, I actually have time to get ready, because I just can't imagine when it is going to happen when I have both of them until AJ goes down for his nap at 11, and I like to get ready earlier in the day if possible, so I'm trying to get ready before he even starts work for the day. There is literally nothing wrong with hanging around in your PJs all day. Obviously there are just some days where you need that, but I just feel so much more put together and ready to attack the day when I actually get ready beforehand. So I am you know what, I'm going to make it a priority on the days that he's working to get ready before he starts work, so I actually feel put together and ready to mom, ready to do it and attack the day. So then all I have to do is get the two of them ready, and I'm not also trying to get myself ready while they're running around in the bathroom underneath me. Today is Monday, so I do have both of them home with me today. AJ is going to be going to my mom's on Tuesday and Wednesday this week, just to kind of keep his routine normal, to be able to run around and play with his cousins, since my mom watches all of them as well, and give myself a moment with Emma just here at home, being able to have a little bit of a quieter, slow day where it's just the two of us. We can kind of chill a little bit, rest when we need it. So he'll be going there, but today, Thursday, and Friday, I will have both of them home with me. This has been actually saving my nipples this time around breastfeeding, because Emma girl likes to eat and my nipples have been so freaking sore. But this is kind of where we are at. Body update. I am 2 weeks postpartum tomorrow. This is where we are at. I feel really, really good. Obviously without the high-waisted pants on, there is a little bit of loose skin and just extra fluff from what I was used to, but it feels so good to be back in leggings instead of sweatpants when you're wearing diapers and regular underwear 24/7. This just makes me feel so much more like myself than when I'm wearing sweatpants 24/7. We have been sleeping fairly well, all things considering. Even with having a newborn, we are really lucky that Emma, knock on wood, has been really good and really consistent with her sleep. She's still pretty much eating every 3 hours at this point, so overnight I feed her right before we kind of lay down for the night, so that is at right about 10 o'clock, and then she wakes up again at 1:30, and then at 4:30, and then from there sometimes she is kind of up and wants to be held and snuggled. Sometimes she'll go back down for a little bit. She might want to eat again at 5:30, but pretty much we're getting those 2 consistent wake ups, 1:30 and 4:30 every single night, which with a newborn, all things considering, is not bad at all. I feel AJ was waking up so much more frequently and was kind of just all over the place with his timing. She is a very she eats every 3 hours. Obviously sometimes during the day it is a little bit more all over the place because she's still getting her schedule all regulated, but all things considering, I will take 2 wake ups in the middle of the night. Honestly, this time around, I feel I have not dreaded the middle of the night wake ups nearly as much. I think mostly because the day is so go, go, go 24/7 when I am with her and AJ. It is kind of nice to have a moment that is a little bit quieter and it's just me and her, and it's kind of just nice to be able to bond for a second. So even if it is at 1 in the morning, I have definitely been able to be you know what, this time goes by so quickly where she will be sleeping through the night and she won't be waking up nearly as frequently and need to breastfeed as much. So take it as an opportunity to just spend time together and bond during the time that you guys have, because obviously during the day it's a little bit more rushed when I am feeding her, and it's more go, 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 eat, burp her, okay, maybe I'll hold her, maybe I'll put her in the bouncer, and then get back to all the other momming things with AJ. So I've kind of been able to put it into perspective this time around and just be able to enjoy it a little bit more, even though you are still waking up at 1 and 4 in the morning. Take it as an opportunity to just bond with her, spend some one-on-one quality time with her where it's a little bit quieter and there's less just chaos going on. What kind of yogurt do you want, baby? What, baby? You pooped? Yeah. Okay. Thank you for telling me. Good job. One hand. 2 hands. All right. So I got your face. Whoa, I gotta get the yogurt off your face. That's all. Good job. Hello, little mouse. What are you doing?
Apple.
Oh. What?
Strawberry.
Yeah, strawberry. Are you going to pick that red, ripe strawberry? Yup, he has to go up the ladder. Yep. Sing me a lullaby?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll close my eyes. You sing. Good job.
Oh.
Whoa. Mommy, get it. All right, Emma girl. I know. A little poopies. Good girl. Your diaper. And then you'll get a little milky. Come here. Shh. It's okay. It's okay. Treetops, when the wind blows, the cradle will rise. The way that I feel so accomplished because I have them both down for a nap at the same time. Like, I love them both. I love them both with my whole entire heart and soul. But I needed a solid like 30 minutes to an hour today of just some peace and quiet. I really did. I just needed a moment where I could just sit on the couch and watch some YouTube and drink my chai and just have a moment. And I am so grateful that I was able to get them to sleep at the same time. It is now 12:30. Hello? It is now 12:30. AJ has been asleep for a little over an hour. He went down right around 11:15, and little miss decided to fight me for quite a bit of time going down for a nap, which is super unlike her. We have been super, super fortunate that she is been a really good sleeper so far. Like I said to you guys this morning, she does a really good job sleeping over the course of the night, where you put her down and she wakes up pretty much every 2 to 3 hours to eat, and then pretty much will eat and fall right back asleep. And even during the day, like, luckily she has been pretty good about eating, being awake for a little bit, being on her mat, doing some tummy time, and then falling asleep. Like, really, schedule-wise, she has not been giving us too much of a trouble. But this morning, for whatever reason, she was just struggling to settle down for that normal kind of like 11:30 nap. She is still not even 2 weeks old, so obviously her schedule is very much all over the place. But I do think for her, the biggest thing right now is she does not take a pacifier, where AJ was already like obsessed with pacifiers at this point. She does not take them. She is literally repulsed by pacifiers to the point that she's like gagging on pacifiers if you try to give it to her. And now that we're trying to wean AJ from pacifiers, I'm actually really grateful if she does not take them, because I think it'll be an easier transition weaning him off of a pacifier if she's not using one, because I think it's just going to be hard to be like, oh, she gets one but you don't. So I wouldn't be entirely upset if she does not take a pacifier. But because of that, she's still, obviously, she's not even 2 weeks old. She's still learning how to like very much self-soothe and doesn't quite know yet that she can just like fall asleep on her own. And so when she is tired, but she doesn't really know how to like self-soothe herself to sleep, obviously, because she's so little, all she wants to do is kind of just like be on my boob and like nurse herself to sleep, or not even really nurse, just like be on it, using it as a pacifier. So that's kind of what we were dealing with for the last like hour of time. When after I put AJ down, typically she would also be asleep because I feed her right before I put him to sleep. Luckily, Timmy's working from home today, so he was able to hold her while I was upstairs putting AJ to sleep. And then when I came back down, she was just a little unsettled. So I kept kind of just like going back and forth between like nursing her a little bit, rocking her, nursing her, rocking her. And she clearly wanted to be asleep and just wasn't allowing herself to settle. So then I just like kind of popped her on the boob for a few minutes and she passed out, and she has been like this ever since. So obviously it's still just a huge adjustment because she's so little and is just not sure yet how to like soothe herself and put herself to sleep if she is not like pacifying on my boob or nursing herself to sleep right now. But overall, the transition to 2 under 2 has been going fairly well. I will say last week was such a hard week. The first week that we were home was so challenging. AJ was sick. He also had pink eye, and it was just a really rough adjustment. He was very unlike himself, where he was grumpy, he was tired, he was crying, he wasn't able to sleep well for his naps overnight. He wasn't very happy when he was awake during the course of the day, which is so unlike him and his temperament just in and of itself. So like that was really challenging just by itself, seeing him like that. And then add in the adjustment of getting a little baby sister and having to learn how to share attention between me and her and him, and just like how that dynamic will all work. Like it was just a really tough week of trying to figure out what life is actually going to look like as a family of 4, because he was just so unlike himself. And so there was a moment last week where Timmy and I were like, oh my God, what the heck did we do? Like, did we change our sweet toddler forever, that now he is going to have all these meltdowns and temper tantrums and just be miserable and really have a hard time with this adjustment? And obviously we knew that there were so many factors going on, but it is so difficult when it is not his temperament at all to like throw tantrums and throw himself on the floor and like get angry and mad. That was pretty much all he was doing last week. It was really, really challenging to see him like that. And then add in the fact that you do have a newborn, and while she has been, knock on wood, a very easy newborn up until this point, where like she's pretty content, she isn't really super fussy, like it is trying to navigate and balance all of that at the same time. Like it was a really difficult week last week, and now she's almost 2 weeks, she'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. And I'm definitely starting to feel like I have a better handle on it. There are definitely still moments when I'm trying to like feed her that AJ wants to just like sit next to me and watch Bluey, or he wants to do something and I can't get up and play with him, that we are definitely still dealing with meltdowns and tantrums. But I think that's just part of the transition of him being a big brother and learning how to share attention and my love. And I know that that's just going to get better over time. But I also feel like now that he is feeling 100%, that we know how to handle it a little bit better, because we know that that's not his temperament. And so we kind of just give him a moment to like have his meltdown, and then we distract him and give him a book or give him toys or show him the trucks outside, and then he kind of bounces back from it fairly quickly. But definitely I would say like the hardest time to like distract him is when I'm feeding her, because sometimes it could be for 10 minutes and sometimes it could be for 30 minutes. So we've kind of done a fair balance of like watching Bluey with him or Mickey with him, reading to him while I'm nursing her, doing puzzles, things like that, trying to keep him occupied, but at the same time I'm able to sit on the couch or sit and still feed her at the same time. So it's just all like a balancing act. I do have to say that's probably the hardest part up until this point of having 2 kids, is just I constantly feel like I am juggling my attention from one to the other. It's like I put one down for a nap and then I come down and now she needs to be rocked and fed and put down for her nap. Like I feel like I'm never giving either one of them 100% attention, which like obviously like you just can't. You now have 2 kids that need your undivided attention. But I think it's just a balancing act of trying to figure out like when you can give each your attention and just taking advantage of the time that you have with each one of them, / learning how to do things with both of them at the same time, which obviously I think is going to get easier as they get older and they're able to like play together and do the same things. But of course right now they are in such drastically different phases of life, where like he can run around and play and do things and talk to you, and she just wants to be like snuggled, and we'll do a little bit on the floor, but you can't leave her on the floor for too long, because he's kind of all over the place and is still learning how to like be gentle, and like because he doesn't understand that she's so little. So it's just a balancing act right now, and I do feel like we've done a really, really good job with it so far, but it is definitely been an adjustment for all of us. And I think it's just going to get easier, and it has gotten easier. Like last week, it was a really difficult week emotionally and mentally. And this week has already felt drastically different, drastically better. Like I feel like we have a much better handle on having 2 children and what their schedule and routines look like. And kind of just like, yes, it's going to happen where like they both might be crying at the same time. Yes, it's going to happen when he throws himself on the floor and has a meltdown. And like, I think we're just learning how to navigate that a little bit better this week than last week. And also just learning like how to pick and choose battles and things like that, because obviously it's a huge adjustment for him too. Like this is all she's ever known. This is the only situation she's ever known, but his life is the one that's been completely like flipped upside down. So just also really practicing a lot of patience and that's easier said than done for sure in the moment when he's acting so out of sorts, but definitely just learning how to like practice patience with him and know that he is doing the best he can with everything going on, and just that every single day is going to get a little bit better. But overall, we have been doing really, really well. The adjustment has been going well. She is luckily like the sweetest, most content baby as of this point. So knock on wood that continues. We like hate to even keep saying it because we're like, we're going to jinx ourselves. But as of right now, she really has been that way. So I'm hoping that that just continues. But that's just a little check-in of kind of where we're at right now. I feel really good. Recovery-wise has been going well for me. I am still bleeding off and on a little bit, but not to the point where I really feel like I need to like wear something consistently, like just maybe a little like panty liner at the most in case I am doing too much when I'm like carrying him, holding her, going on walks, whatever. Like in case I do a lot one day, I might notice a little bit more blood, but other than that, I really do feel good. I feel like my recovery this time around has gone better and faster. And I don't know if it's because my labor was unmedicated or just because I have done it before, so I knew what to expect. I'm not really sure, but it definitely, I feel more like myself faster this time around than I did last time. And that is a really, really nice feeling, especially now having two babies that need my constant love and attention. But I'm going to try to chill for a little bit longer and hope that he can give me like a solid 2-hour nap, and then we'll carry on with our day. Do you want to say hi?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Cheese.
Cheese. Don't touch. Don't touch. And green, put it on top. You say green?
Green.
Yep. Now, yellow. Can you say yellow?
Yeah.
Good job. Now, blue. Put on top. Can you say blue?
Blue.
I like really, really have been trying to get outside and do something just like out every single day since I've been home with the two of them, whether it's like a little walk or we go and play in the backyard or whatever the case may be. And temperature wise, I think it's like 57 degrees technically outside, but it is so windy out. Like it has been so loud, the wind today, that I feel like if I took them outside that they would literally be blowing away. And even though it says 57, it probably feels closer to like 45, 50, and that is very, oh, excuse me, don't touch. That is very, very chilly for a 2-week-old. So as much as I would like to get outside and get some fresh air and like soak up some sun, because it is finally getting sunny outside, I don't really want to take the chance of it being like uncomfortably cold and windy for them. I think we're just going to hang out inside today, even though I was hoping that we'd be able to get outside for a walk or go play in the backyard or like with some chalk or something. But like, I just think temperature wise, it is no. It is a little bit. It is a little bit too chilly for that. So I'm trying to like just take advantage of playtime in here as much as possible and get out some of this crazy energy. But I need it like for myself mentally to get outside a little bit as well. But it just doesn't seem like that's going to happen today, which is okay because I don't need them freezing either. Look at how sweet she is, just sleeping here in the bouncer. Starting to wake up a little bit, but naturally because she's eat in like 20 minutes. I am really, really trying this time around with her to not feel guilty about just like soaking up some of the like newborn snuggles and the contact naps and just being able to like hold her as much as I want when I have the time to be able to do it. But then simultaneously, I am also trying to be intentional about like putting her down a little bit more than I did with AJ. Obviously with him, he was my only child. I had all my focus all day, every day was just on like him and whatever he wanted and needed. So I would hold him for every single nap, all hours of the day, because I had nothing else going on but him. Now obviously I have him that I want to be able to like be playing with and running around with and doing things. So I'm trying to be intentional about putting her down a little bit more and letting her get used to kind of like being in the bouncer, being in the bassinet, asleep. So that way, one, it's a little bit easier of a transition when she goes to my mom's house and she tries to put her down, and two, just to give me a little bit of time like hands off where I'm able to like play with AJ or wash the dishes, cook meals, get things done, but then also at the same time taking advantage of snuggling her as much as possible when I have the opportunity to do it. So like, it's so nice that she definitely is a little bit easier at putting down in general. Like AJ, even at 2 weeks old, never would have gone down in a bouncer or in the bassinet. Like he wanted to be held 24/7. Even now, like he's definitely more of like a contact napper. Like he enjoys being on you and close to you and snuggling, where I don't think she minds nearly as much. Like she's definitely okay being put down a little bit more. So I'm just finding some balance of putting her down and getting her used to being put down so she's comfortable with it, so she knows she's okay. So when we are ready to put her in her own room or in the bassinet or just down in the bouncer so we can get things done, she's okay. But then also just like soak up some time being able to snuggle her as much as possible, because she's only going to be this little for so long. But it's definitely nice that she feels comfortable being down, been able to like cook meals and like eat meals without holding a baby and just like be able to play with him a little bit more, which if he was my second child, I don't know how much I would have been able to do that, because he just wants to be held and snuggled 24/7, which I absolutely love. And it was perfect when he was the only one, but now obviously it's just a bit more complicated. So definitely grateful that I can put her down even a little bit. It is now 7:45 and I just rinsed off and am starting to kind of like unwind for the night. AJ went down right around 7:30, so I just came downstairs, made sure Emma was still all good with Timmy, and then hopped in the shower quick and rinsed off. She does typically want to eat at this time, so when I go downstairs, I will feed her and then be able to kind of like chill and fully relax for the night. My goal for the night, if I feel up to it, is to at least start the process of editing her birth story. I wanted to have it up sooner than this, but honestly, right now with life, it is so complicated when they are either both down for a nap or one of them is down for a nap that I'm like so torn on what to do with the time. It's like, do I take this time to sit and relax and breathe for a second? Do I take the time to get like other household things done, like put Emma down in the bouncer for a second and wash some dishes or fold some clothes? Like, how do I use the time? Because AJ's naps right now could literally be anywhere from an hour to 2.5 hours. So you really don't know what to expect. And same thing with Emma. Sometimes she'll nap for 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 3 hours. Sometimes you can put her down. Sometimes you can't. So you're kind of just like guessing and not really sure the best use of your time when you have it. But I am going to wrap the video up here. I hope you guys liked this video. I love watching these vlogs, these just like casual, like at home, like realistic day in the life vlogs of moms and influencers and things like that. But I always kind of get in my head when I film them, like, is this actually something that someone would want to see? So, but this is kind of just the reality of life right now with 2 under 2. We're pretty much at home all of the time, hanging out, kind of going back and forth, juggling all of the madness and the beautiful chaos that it is. So if you like this video, please make sure you go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. You already know it supports my channel. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification so you never miss another video that I post. If you haven't, make sure you follow me on my Instagram and TikTok so you can see other face, health, and lifestyle content I post on there. And I will catch you guys here next time.